Go again.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Lucy Underwood, and I'm Director of Partnerships, and myself and Bill Mooney are going to take you through some slides which are going to talk about Monek in more detail. Just want to start by explaining the rules for the call. We're keeping it anonymous. We don't want to risk anybody feeling uncomfortable. If there's any questions, can you please send them to the email address that is shown on the slide. We'll be monitoring the emails during the call, and we'll answer what we can in the time provided. We'll provide an updated Q&A at the end of the webinar. And if you've got any confidential questions, please send them to myself, and my email address is at the bottom of this slide. Okay, welcome everybody, and welcome to the Monek family. We're very excited about the partnership that we have got with Truevo. And we've worked very hard to ensure there is no disruption to your merchants or to yourselves. Your deal remains exactly the same, and the merchant deal remains exactly the same too. But let me start by telling you a little bit about Monek. So I joined in April of last year, having probably too many decades of experience in payments, working for several of the largest acquirers and ISVs. That's myself, and we've got two founders. I'm sitting next to Bill Mooney. He is the Chief Commercial Officer, and we also have Miles Carroll, who is Executive Chairman. So I'm part of a senior leadership team, which has what I call co-pilots with me. I've got Gareth Berry. He is Head of Product Services Director. He looks after all the products and ensures that you get the latest payments technology built into our platform as well. We've got Amy Stevens, who works alongside me. She is the General Manager of Monek Merchant Services. And somebody who's recently joined us actually is a lady called Kate Valler, and she is Head of our Customer Experience. And she's got a tremendous amount of global experience and UK experience in managing call centers. So my little extended team as well is the partnership team. I've got Sam Hawkes, who works for me. He is my right-hand guy, and he does all the business development, partner development manager. And then we've got a lady called Danielle Palmer, who is our partner support. Danielle's been in Monek for approximately 3 years now. So you've got an excellent partner manager team that you can work with, and we kind of do any kind of introducers or different deals, but these are my team that are going to help you through and support you through the process as well. Let me hand over to Bill, who's sitting beside me, and he's going to tell you, I know he's very excited to tell you a little bit more about the company and how we work.
Well, morning, folks. So Miles and I founded Monek in 2017. Excuse me a sec. The business came about because we acquired the trading assets of a payment gateway. So really, we've only ever started operating them back then as an independent payment gateway with a small ISO operation. But we never lost sight of the thing that really holds the payment sector back at all times, and that's the ability that you have to onboard merchants in a quick, efficient manner that gives them a great experience and lets your sales guys get on with the job of selling and less focus and attention on the frustrations of going backwards and forwards. So we built Datum, which was a separate business at the time. It was a brand new onboarding concept that took the merchants so they could go through a process of lead to live in about 5 minutes. So that's a fully underwritten mid in 5 minutes. By the time we hit 2019, we embarked on a project where we delivered the Datum platform out to Visa. And it was a groundbreaking project. We absolutely proved that you could onboard merchants within 5 minutes with the terminal being dispatched the same day. But what we learned through that process was that the acquirers in the market weren't agile enough. They just weren't, I don't know, innovative enough. They lacked the commitment to try and make things work in an efficient way for whatever reason. So Miles and I thought, well, if we've built a platform that's this good, then why don't we start operating as if we are an acquirer? So we started the process of applying for an FCA license as an authorised payments institute, and we got that in 2021. and at the same time we formed a very unique strategic alliance with WorldPay, where they don't just act as our aggregator, sorry, as our sponsor into the card schemes to operate as a payment facilitator. We also act with them as an aggregator for ISVs and introducers, where we've got a unique API access to the WorldPay's onboarding systems, so we can make the onboarding process with WorldPay a lot slicker as well. So from there, we started trading. Monek Merchant Services is the regulated entity within Monek Group. We started trading with Monek Merchant Services last year. We've got some really large merchants on there initially, but of course the idea has always been that we would offer the Lead to Live and 5 out to the introducer and partner community, and that's what we're doing this year. And we're absolutely thrilled to be welcoming the Truevo partners and their customers on board, and we really look forward to the journey that we're going to share together over the next over the coming years. So let's tell you a wee bit about our guiding principles. Miles and I have been part of teams that have built very successful businesses in the past, and what we know is that in order to really build an excellent business, what you have to do is focus on sort of like really strong, powerful strategic pillars. In this case, we talk about product leadership, which is where we're building the best products in the payment sector. We're really looking to exceed, and we will exceed, market expectations and bring the market a whole new way of doing things. Customer intimacy is about understanding our partners and our customers, the merchants, so that we're not just responding to your needs, but we actually believe that with the experience that we've got and with the innovative mindset that we've got, that we can anticipate them and deliver them just as you're kind of realising that that's something that would be useful for you. And the final thing is operational excellence. Our objective is we drive efficiency into everything that we do, because if we do that, we make everything more efficient from you and help you become more successful businesses as well. Because if we do that, what we're looking to do is to just maximise the space in that, the overlap in that Venn diagram between the value that we generate for Monek, the value that we generate for you, and we do that through this mutual success. The thing that you guys need to understand is we really don't sell direct. Where we have a salesperson that talks to a merchant, is because it's been brought to us by an introducer, typically a technology company. So we are not out into the marketplace looking to recruit merchants direct. We only sell through partners, and that kind of makes us a wee bit unique in the marketplace. So all of those sort of core strategies and the attitude that we have towards partners is supported by our core values. Everything that we do is guided by, we're always asking ourselves inside the business, is what I'm doing just here innovative and delivered to a high standard, a high quality, to give our partners and our customers an excellent experience? And all of that's absolutely fine, but unless we do it in an agile way, unless we bring things and ideas and respond in a really quick manner, we're not doing ourselves justice, and we're not helping you become more successful. And the other thing we always focus on as well is integrity. When you're talking to Monek, you know exactly that what we say is what we'll deliver on. So I'll hand that back to Lucy now. She'll tell you a bit more about partner proposition, and I'll catch up on something else with you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Bill. So what is our proposition? What exactly will we be giving you? The answer is everything you need to sell and fulfill with payments. We'll cover the entire payments value chain. Quite simply, we've got one of the best platforms in the world in terms of onboarding, and that's one of the reasons why I joined Monek as well. Terminal hardware and software using the same approach as used with Truevo. We'll provide you with an omni-channel payments gateway, merchant accounts with instant setup and next day settlement. All the terminal logistics and help desk services you're used to, we've worked with Monek. We've worked with EIT, and we'll continue to work with EIT as well. We also provide the terminal finance if you need it. But first, we need to make sure that your existing merchants are looked after. So let's just talk about the merchants and the contracts. So the Monek and Truevo teams have been working hard to make sure the transition is seamless for the merchants. In essence, nothing changes other than the logo on the terminals and the name that appears on their bank accounts when they receive their funds. They don't need to sign any new contracts. The Truevo contract simply uses an ovation mechanism to move the merchant to Monek. They will need to log into a different merchant portal, but it provides the same functionality and they'll be able to access 12 months of historical data. We'll make sure they fully understand what is happening. We have incentive to make sure they are settled and happy. The merchant portal, they will get a new ID, and that comes out in a clear communication to them with some clear steps as well. So they will be fully communicated. You can absolutely assured we've done everything to make sure the process goes well. So basically, same contract, same terminals, same software, same pricing, and same next day settlement. And the same principles would actually apply to how we work with you as partners. We recognize that, you know, we need to make sure the process is smooth and the transition is extremely easy. So there's no legal transfer mechanism in your contract. So you will need to sign a new one with Monek. However, it's the same agreement you've signed with Truevo. We have simply changed the Truevo names to Monek. The terminal solution, terminal management, logistics, help desk, and hardware supply are all the same. We were already working closely with the IT before we started to talk to Truevo. We'll also ensure that your commissions are paid on the same basis as Truevo. They will be paid on a monthly billing cycle. But there's one huge big difference, and I think you might have got this in the flavour of this presentation that Bill and I are going through. It's a merchant onboarding experience. It truly is revolutionary. I'm just going to hand over to Bill, who's just going to explain a little bit more about what that really means.
So I came into the payment space probably about 10, 15 years ago, after 12, 13 years in marketing automation, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, what the merchant journey felt like in the experience. There's an office in Tamworth somewhere that's got big holes in it where I hit my head against it for the first 6 months. So what we did was we recognised the inefficiency of the process, the terrible efficiency that it delivered to the sales team, and the terrible experience it delivered to the merchants. And we reinvented it. So rather than that tortuous process that merchants go through just now, what we did was we integrated, we orchestrated and automated all of the processes that go through, that the merchant needs to go through and the salesperson needs to go through in order to get a merchant on board. And we condensed it into a process where all of the data collection, all of the data validation meant that you could take the merchant journey from an initial set of data collection through the quotation and the margin and the pricing control into automated underwriting and contract signature, where we would then hand off to the terminal finance provider, set up all of the mid within the acquirer platform, or in our own case, the PayFac platform, configure the gateway account, and then squirt all the information into the terminal management and logistics systems. So in essence, what you can now do as a sales business selling card processing services is enter the merchant details into the platform once. It takes about 4 minutes. The contract execution process and underwriting takes about another minute. And from there, as long as that order goes through before 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the merchant will receive your terminal next day. And that's a kind of like very, it's like a very comprehensive system. And it sounds great. I mean, it is great, because the big thing that it delivers is a whole new range of business outcomes for you guys. We make a material difference to every business metric that we've been assessed on, and this was all. These are results coming out of the merchant, the Visa project. So compared to the big acquirer platforms where you have to key the data in, we require 90% less data input, and the flow through the benefits of that flow into reduced admin costs, shorter sales processes, increased sales conversion ratios, and productivity increases in the sales team as well. But it's not just that, we also help increase margin, because if you're in a 5-day window where a merchant's gone through the underwriting process, somebody from Dojo or something's going to come along and nick that business from under your feet. And because the merchant is onboarded, set live, and receives their terminal next day, that 5-day window goes away. So you do get the opportunity to increase the margins that you're selling at off the back of the way that we work. And the final thing is your customer satisfaction goes up along with staff retention. If your sales guys are selling using the best possible system that's out there, and I genuinely believe it's the best platform in the world, you will retain your good salespeople, because there's no point going anywhere else. So that's what the Monek platform onboarding system does. We're going to be conducting a webinar where we'll give you a 1 hour run through of the software and explain it to you on Thursday afternoon at 2:30. You'll receive the email shortly inviting you along to that. So if you can, it'd be great to have you on the call, and I'll talk you through the detail of it then.
Thank you, Bill. I think that webinar could be oversubscribed. We did one yesterday and we've got a lot of interest in that. So that's 2:30 on Thursday. Okay, well, that's really it for now. It's concluded, you know, what we wanted to get across, actually. Hopefully you've seen the level of thinking that's gone into making the transfer to Monek as simple as possible for you and for your merchants that you've introduced. You will also see how working with Monek in the future will help you sell more at lower costs and protect us all from the regulatory risk. We will send out, so what are the next steps? We'll send you out your contracts in the next 1 or 2 working days. So if you can sign those by Adobe as soon as possible, we can then proceed. We will also arrange a call to get to know you better as a parallel process. Some of you might already receive those calls that have been happening the last couple of days. This will include explaining the options for working with Monek, from a very simple introduce agreement to a tightly integrated strategic partnership. But on behalf of Bill and I, hope the last 15 minutes you found extremely useful, and we're really passionate about this partnership and we're really looking forward to working with you as well. So hopefully see you all soon.
Lucy, just whilst we've been talking, there has been a couple of questions that have come in. We'll just quickly answer them because I think we received 4 questions, but they all settled down onto 2 main subjects. The first one is on settlement for card not present transactions, so e-com, for example. We know that Truevo currently offers a 7-day settlement, but we will be settling those merchants next day. So the switching plans as well is another question that's come up. We have to look into that in detail. What to do is if you guys got a number of merchants on e-com, can you please email Lucy? Her email address was at the beginning of the presentation, so it's lucy.underwood@monek.com, because in order for us to process those transactions as a payfac, we'll need to move those merchants away from the Truevo gateway. They have to be connected to the Monek gateway, so we'll just need to understand a bit more of the detail of what's going on around there. And the final point I would want to emphasise for you is we really do need you guys to sign the partnership agreement, and it's not because we are precious about ourselves. There's no difference in the wording between the contract that we're asking you to sign and the contract you signed with Truevo. It's really just the name of the legal entity that's changed, and we've removed the rest of Europe from the territory that we can operate in, just simply because we don't have a licence to operate outside the UK. So we do need you to sign those contracts, and it's just simply because if you don't sign it, we have got no legal framework against which we can continue to pay you your revenue share. Okay, so I think those are the 3 questions that have come out of the Q&A session that we've been running by email in the background. Thanks for your time, folks, and we will look forward to talking to you in the very near future. Bye now.